I came to Canada as an international student, and I've been doing videos about Canadian immigration and life in Canada for the past 3 years. So definitely subscribe to the channel for content like that, and keep on watching so that I can show you how to fill out the application form for the student visa. Now, I recently did a video where I spoke about how to write a good letter of explanation. So if you want to know how to write the letter of explanation, there's already a video available, and I have done videos about the documents required for student visa, and I have actually done a video about filling out the student visa application before. However, that video is now outdated. It is a new way to fill out the application now. So because of that, I'm going to be showing you how exactly to fill out the student visa application. So here's my screen. I'm going to screen record so that you can see everything that is going on. So how to apply study permit. That's exactly what we want on the Canada.ca's website. Get the documents ready. Please note that it is more documents than what you are seeing right here, so make a note of that. And I have a checklist that I will link down below, so that checklist will show you literally all the documents you will need. This right here is not all the documents you will need. Definitely use my checklist for that. And where are you applying for outside of Canada? How do you want to apply online? Are you applying with a family member that needs a work permit? So for this section, if for example you would like to travel to Canada and you have a partner, your partner can actually come here with you on a work permit, and they can come here and work and you can come here and study. So that is something very important to note if you were unaware of that. So right here, I'm going to say no for right now. But basically, if you say yes, you will be doing the applications together. But ideally, do the application separately. That will make the possibility of them actually getting that work permit higher if you guys apply separately. So apply online from outside Canada, get your study permit faster. So you have the student direct stream. I've done a podcast on this, so I'll link that podcast down below so you can get details on the student direct stream. Make sure you have what you need. So you will need a camera and a card to pay the money. Select the country you're applying from. I'm just going to say Jamaica for this example, and just keep it as close to what I would have done and what I have done in my application. So I came here as an international student, and I did my application back in October of 2019. I did my application for my student visa. So it's been a while, but I have been helping persons with their student visa up to this year. Up to last week, I have helped persons to do their student visa. There are a lot of students that I have helped to travel to Canada, and if you would like help with doing the student visa, you can always contact me and I can help you with that. And it just makes your life way easier if you work with me. For one, just to avoid getting refused, because I already know the system, I know how it all works and things like that. The disclaimer is that I am not an immigration consultant, but I know a lot about immigration. I have done a lot of research over the years. I have been through the process many times. This is just a way easier way to get support versus doing it yourself and getting refused. So Jamaica, continue. Documents I would need. This you would need to get this. So you open in a new tab, and you would get that separate document checklist specific to the country you're located in. Save link as, download it and then open it on your computer. Save link. I'm just going to leave it as immigration thing. There, here I have it. Open as PDF. And here's the document checklist, but this does not include all the documents that you will need. You need other documents, so get that down below, because this doesn't show you what you actually need. let's move on. Read the guide. So the guide is very helpful, like it's better to open that as well. And of course now you need an attestation letter. That is something new as well. There are just many new things going on in immigration. And here you can know how much for the study permit, how much to apply. And yeah, there's a lot of information that is actually very useful to read. So definitely read it all, as it will be helpful for you to know everything. Alright, biometrics, all that. Let's continue to the website. One exemption from the attestation would be persons doing masters, so that's something to note if you're wondering who's exempt. So it says sign into your IRCC portal or get an invite code to create an account. So I'm going to get a code. I'm just going to take a picture so I have it multiple ways. So you just paste the invite code here and then you enter the email address that you're using. And please just write down the password so that you remember it. And now we get to the good stuff. So surname, and you have to make it the same as the passport. So Robinson. Given name and first name. Select telephone number. So that's how you do it so that it enters. So you need the dial code, but you also repeat it down here as well. And then sign up. So they sent me an email. Email has been verified. Tomorrow, good, because we need this thing now. Alright, so international. If you want to contact me, you can contact me through this email, or you can contact me at queries@growthtp.com if you would like me to help you to put together your student visa application. If you need that help, definitely let me know. So I accept. All these notices are always on top. Apply to study, work, and all these wonderful things. You can see here. You can even do refugee claim right here and all those wonderful things. So view application you have submitted would be here. So let's say you apply for a study permit, a work permit, and your permanent residency application. They would all be right here. And then these would be applications you've started, and then these would be your messages that came in from IRCC. So you go apply to visit, study, or work in Canada. Make sure you are eligible before you apply. Make sure you have your credit card, your passport. You have 60 days to complete the application. Do you want to apply for more than one person at the same time? For example, you want to submit an application for yourself plus your spouse, children, so you can be like yes or no. I'm going to say no in this regard. Then we move here, and this is the lineup of everything that you need to provide in the application. And then after this, you are finished. And as you can see, it's a lot of things that you have to do to get to the end. So buckle up because it's going to be a journey. So I want to apply for study permit. We want to apply for. What exactly do you want to apply for? A study permit to study for less than 6 months, more than 6 months, right? Visitor's visa to study without a study permit for less than 6 months. So you have all these options here, and this is the one I'm selecting. Study permit application submitted to IRCC now require an attestation from the intended province to study as of January 22, 2024. Do you have a provincial attestation letter? For this, I'm going to say no. So I'm just going to apply for something that is exempt. Do you qualify for an exemption? I'm going to say yes. Which exemption do you qualify for? So I am an applicant applying for preschool, kindergarten. No. I am an applicant who meets another exemption listed on the IRCC website. Yes. Tell us more about what you do in Canada and include the date. Pursue a master's degree in business administration in Canada between the dates January 2025 to December 2026. All right, and that's all you need to write there. And then when will you enter Canada? So for this, you would say school is January on that date. So you could say December of 2024 towards the end of the year. When will you leave Canada? So it would, if you finish school December 2026, then you have 3 months to leave Canada. So you would say 2027 January, and we can say you leave the 12th, and you just make up this. It will not be provided. This UCI number is if you have ever applied for something from immigration before. If you've applied for a student visa, if you've ever applied for a visitor's visa, that's the only time you would have this number. Otherwise, you leave it blank and you move on. Save and continue. You selected apply for more than 6 months. So basically, I just wrote that it's a 2-year program that I'll be doing. Everything has to line up, otherwise the application will not go through. So just make a note of that. If this isn't what you expected, check your answers. The study permit is a document that allows foreign nationals to do all the wonderful things. Documents you need to complete the application. Moving on to the application. Representative, are you applying on behalf of someone else? No. I'm applying for myself. Travel documents include all the dates. So write your name as it appears in your passport. Robinson. And careful with these spaces, like don't leave a space there actually. And then here we have Cameron and date of birth. Let's say I'm doing a master's degree, 1991. The month of the year, April 7th. Female. Moving on. And that's how you do it. And then what document are you traveling with? A passport. What kind of passport? A regular normal passport. Select the country code that matches. And I said I was using Jamaica, so I'm using Jamaica. Jamaica is where I'm from. So Jamaica. And you use your nationality right here. So what's your passport number? So it's usually A and then a couple of numbers afterwards. Confirm your passport number. So you just do it again, 546525. And then date of issue of passport or travel document, 12 September. The date it was issued, so let's say I got it back in 2018. Okay, so when does it expire? The main thing to focus on is just this year right here. Let's say 2030. Are you lawfully a permanent resident of US? No. Have you held a visitor's visa in the past 10 years? A Canadian visitor visa? No. Do you currently hold a valid US non-immigrant visa? Actually, a lot of people have a US visa. So just take out your visitor's visa and write the number that it has right here. So expiry date of the visa, and then are you using a different passport for this application than the one that you used to get this? So are you using a different passport? No, you would have the same passport. Are you traveling to Canada by air? Yes. Moving on. Country. Where were you born? Jamaica. City where you were born? Kingston. Are you a citizen of more than one country? No. Which country are you a citizen of? Again, Jamaica. I am a citizen of this country since birth. Yes. So it adds my age back, it adds my year of birth right here, and you move on. National identity document of the applicant. Do you have a national ID? You can just use your passport right here, add in the same passport number, 5266. Date of issue, we are going to say 2019, month April. Date the 7th, Jamaica. And then we move on. Save and continue. Have you used another name in the past? No. If you did, say yes. Here, country of residence. Select a country. You're in Jamaica. Let's do that. Your street address in Jamaica, 56 Norway Road. City, Kingston. Is your mailing address the same as yes? List the countries of residence that you've lived in for the past 5 years for more than 6 months. So if it's less, you don't need to list it. So let's add. I'm going to say I've only lived one spot to make my life way easier. If you live in 100 places, you have to sit down and enter all 100 places over 6 months. What is your status in your country? Citizen. From birth, which was 1990 April, and this is where I currently live. Easy. Let's save this page and continue. Biometrics. Do we have your fingerprints? No. So I'll need to do biometrics. Okay. The fee for biometrics will be $85. Detail your intent to study in Canada. Type of study permit. I have an acceptance letter for a designated institution. I am applying for an open study permit. Which of the following applies to you? None of the above. Okay. Level of study. I said masters. So masters, you have bachelors, you have secondary, primary, you have all the things. So masters. The learning institution number, let's go search. The DLI number should be on your letter of acceptance, so just take a look at it. So I'm going to take this one. So Holland College, Charlottetown, Prince of Wales campus. Here's the DLI number. And now I have a DLI, and it would be Holland College. And the address of the school is in Canada. Start typing the address. And there it is. Alright, and everything is inputted there. And then field of study, it's business administration. Do you have a student identification number? You should. It would be on your letter of acceptance letter. They would have your student ID on it. Tuition fee. So this is the total fee to be paid to the school for the duration of the program. Let's say for the entire program, I'm doing 2 years. So I'm going to say 15,000 times 2, $30,000 for the duration. Moving on, room and board. So this is a total of food, lodging for the duration of the program for all of the years. Lodging, we are going to say 900 multiplied by 24 months is 21,600, plus food, I'm going to say food is 400 per month multiplied by 24 months is 9,600, plus 21,600 is 31,200 right there. Funds available to study in Canada. So my tuition is 15,000 for the year, including everything, and you need the $10,635 as proof of funds. And let's say I'm adding another $6,000 to this amount. Let's say I have 31,600. So just add up everything that is available to you and place it there. I'm going to say I have $33,000 here. 33,000, because this is for both years. I just have for 1 year, which is fine. Who will pay for all these things? Myself or parents, or you can say other. Are you receiving financial support for your studies? Alright, and we'll move on. Do you want to apply for a work permit to participate in that? Not right now, so no. Maybe in the future. So have you ever went to a college, university before? I'm going to say no, but let's say you say yes. Go to add and enter all the details about where you've gone before. I'm going to say no. Military or police history. Did you serve in the military before? No. Work history. If you have work history, then you enter it right here. So you go add the details. You go from to work or activity, job title, do all the things, and you're good to go here as well. For here, what you want to do is to enter in any education that you've done as well during the time if you haven't actually worked. And you're just looking in the last 10 years only, and you have to sit and do all of that. And then you save. And that's pretty much how you enter all of them. You just enter another one, another one, another one. So it's in the past 10 years. So we want it to add up. So did we cover all 10 years? You can just do this. Go 2024 minus 10. So you need until 2014. So let's do another entry again. So let's add another entry. And we save that. Let's see if it will allow us to save and continue. It did. Perfect. Then we go travel history. So during the past 5 years, have you traveled to a country other than the one where you are a citizen of? You can say yes if you've traveled before. You can say no if you've never traveled before. Let's say you've said yes. Alright, so tell me more about your travels. So during the past 5 years, have you traveled? Alright, so let's say we've traveled last year, June, to, let's say we traveled for 2 months. Let's say we went to Cuba. Location, and then purpose of travel, vacation. And you save, and you move on. Save and continue. Have you ever stayed in a country beyond the validity of your status, attended school without this? No. Hopefully your answer is no. If it's yes, write yes. Have you ever been refused a visa? If you applied for a visa in US and was refused, say yes. I'm going to say no. If you said yes, then you need to write and just enter all the details right there. And even if you were refused and then you get a visa, you write it as well. Then move on. Criminality and security. Have you ever committed any crime? No. Have you ever been arrested? No. Have you ever been charged? No. Have you ever been convicted? No. So that's usually the answer for most people. Are you or have you ever been a member of a society that does wrong things? No. Have you ever witnessed people doing wrong things? No. Moving on. Medical background questions. Have you had a medical exam performed by IRCC? No. Are you working in these industries? No. Moving on. In the last 2 years, have you been diagnosed with tuberculosis? No. In the last 5 years, have you been in close contact with anyone? No. Moving on. And please be honest because IRCC can know if you're lying. They will do their background checks and find out anyways. Are you currently receiving dialysis treatment? No. Have you had a drug condition? No. Drug addiction. Have you had any mental health conditions? No. Have you ever been diagnosed with syphilis? No. Moving on. Marital status. What is your current marital status? So you can say single, annulled, common law. Common law is if you live with someone. Let's say single. Moving on. Oh, and make sure you click common law if you live with somebody, especially if you want to do application for them to come with their work permit. Do you have any biological or adopted kids? Let's say no. Tell us about your parents. If you were adopted, provide the details about your legal parents. So what you do is to just add the information about your parents, whether guardian or parents. Father, year, say 1955, me too. Country, Jamaica. Present occupation. Does this parent have the same address as you? Yes. Will this parent come to Canada with you? No. And your parent can actually come with you to Canada. Let's add mother as well. Present occupation. Teacher. Does this parent have the same address? Yes. Will this parent come with you to Canada? No. Save. Moving on. Save and continue. What is your mother tongue language? English. Can you communicate in English or French? Yes. What language do you want to use to in contact? English. Moving on. Email of the applicant. So the email is international students gmail.com. Oh, and it's not allowing you to copy and paste, so you literally have to sit here and type the whole thing. gmail.com. Save and move on. Add the phone number again. So telephone, cellular, other, extension number, there's none. Here, place again 876. So the number isn't short. Moving on. And summary of your information, how to review. We are at the end of everything you need to enter. So we sat down and we enter all these information, and then we go save and continue. You can go and review if you want to, and then you have to add on these files. So you need to add in your letter of acceptance, your immigration status proof, and you can click for details if you're like, what is this talking about? And this is pretty straightforward. So basically, if you say you are a citizen of a country, just provide proof that you're a citizen of the country. US non-immigrant thing came up because we said that we have something for US. National identity, you can read it. You can also use your passport, and you can duplicate a passport a second time, another file. Then you add a separate proof of funds document, should be added here, and then you can add your letter of explanation right here. You don't need this unless like you have like a representative, for example. After this, then the next thing you're going to see is the paying the money, just make the payment. You can pay for the biometrics in advance as well. And once you've done all of that, that is the end of everything. That is the end of the application. You submit your application, go ahead, press that submit, and that's it. So you go back here so that you can see everything. You can go into each and every one of them and see everything you wrote and review the entire application all over again. So this is another option that you can take to sit and review everything, but that is the end of this application. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Get the checklist for the documents that you need down below so that you don't miss any documents that you need, because all the documents is not listed on the page that I just showed you. It is just not there. Definitely make sure you check that checklist and get the other documents that you'll need other than these and place them in your letter of explanation. Add in things like the birth certificate and things like that in your letter of explanation. If you need personal support with this, you can always send me an email and I can support you. This is something that I have done for many people who have traveled to Canada successfully, got an approved study permit. So if you need that support, definitely let me know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.